If you carry a firearm for self-defense or another weapon to defend yourself, you need to listen to today's Coffee with Alain. Got an important concept and thing to discuss that many people don't think about and don't talk about, but it's important for your safety. Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain. Have my Yoda cup this morning because I want to share a little bit of warrior wisdom when we're talking about carrying weapons, whether that's a firearm or a different weapon for self-defense. And it's an important thing to consider. Now, this podcast came about because of something I saw this last weekend. I was at a supermarket. I went to a supermarket, and as I was going into the supermarket, I noticed this gentleman, an elderly gentleman. I mean, he was very old, and he asked one of the employees who has happened to be out in the parking lot getting the carts if he could use one of the carts to help him get into the store. So, I witnessed that as I was walking, and then I passed him, and he's using the cart with both hands and walking so slow. I mean, it was hard for him to walk. Now, I'll give him credit that, he's out there still doing his own stuff. And then later, when I was leaving and I was driving out of the parking lot, I saw him coming out of the store, and he was actually in one of those motorized ones that you sit down on. So I'm guessing when he got to the store, he put that cart away and he got into one of those motor ones to do his shopping. And then he took that motorized one out to his car. Hey, great. An elderly person doing his own shopping, being independent, that is all great. The disturbing thing that I saw, and the thing for today's lesson, is he was carrying a firearm on his hip in open carry, which is legal here in Montana. So he was doing nothing wrong as far as the law is concerned. My problem with that is he was making himself a target, because it would have been very easy to go and take that firearm from him in his physical condition. I mean, there's just nothing he could have done if anybody would have just come up behind him and grabbed that weapon and took it away, or hurt him and took it away. I mean, he was not in the physical condition to be able to physically fight off someone, probably why he was carrying a firearm. However, he would have been much better off to have that concealed, so nobody needed to know he was carrying a firearm. Makes him less of a target for somebody that wants to steal a firearm. Could have been a quick, easy steal for someone. Now, fortunately, he parked in the handicap spot right close to the supermarket, so he wasn't out in the fringe areas, a little more dangerous areas of parking lots I've talked about in other shows. But, I don't know where else this gentleman goes or does with that open carry. And I just want to emphasize that a concealed carry is much more preferred, because nobody needs to know what you have. Now, yes, some people say, well, I carry it to show, nobody's going to mess with me. I got a gun on my hip. Not always going to work that way. You might be the first target because you got a gun on your hip. Active shooter comes in, sees you with a gun, boom, you're dead. Same with the security or cops that they notice. First targets take out anything with a gun, then the rest are easy victims. I'm out to steal something because I need my next fix, and I see this old guy with a firearm. It's like, oh, that's an easy score. I can either have a gun or I can sell it easy, because you can sell guns quick, get some cash for your next drug fix. They don't need to know you have it. They don't need to know what you're carrying. And so open carry is legal. Here in Montana, it's legal. Anybody above 18, you can open carry as long as you don't have felonies and other things legally that prohibits you. But anybody without a criminal record and so forth, you can carry a gun, open carry. And I advise against it. I just don't think you need to show off what you're carrying. I don't think you want people to know what you're carrying. Now, I have open carried before. That's when I'm up in the woods, grizzly bear country, and I had an open carry with a sidearm on me for bear. I didn't do it in town. Okay. But out in the woods, you want that, bear and stuff. Yeah, I have no problem carrying it when you're hunting or something and you want that extra sidearm in grizzly country. But I'm not going to walk around downtown with it. Nobody needs to know what I have. Nobody needs to know what you have. And it's not just this real elderly gentleman. I have seen countless people. I don't know the numbers here in Montana, out and about, and I see somebody with a firearm and I walk up close or whatever, and I'm just thinking, they don't even know I'm here. They don't know that I could take that from them right now. If you're going to carry, you better have a heightened sense of awareness as well. I mean, nobody should be able to walk up onto your gun side and be standing there and be able to just take your gun. And I have done that to so many people that were just completely oblivious that I was there. Anybody else was there, but they're packing a gun on their hip to make them feel safe. And they're not safe. They're making themselves a target. So that's sort of my little sermon today that is so important. And you don't hear a lot of people talking about it. And I thought, I need to address this, especially after seeing that elderly gentleman, with that gun on his hip. And there's no way he could have stopped somebody from taking that from him if they would have just rushed up to him and wanted it. Going to say good morning to a few people. Good morning, Jay and Vicky. Appreciate you guys being here. Good morning, Dixon. Appreciate you being here. Dixon says, I agree. Open carry, not a great idea if disabled. Concealed carry, much better. And Dixon also said, need to practice weapon retention exercises. Even LEOs don't do this enough. And that's true. And if you are going to carry a weapon, you need a heightened sense of awareness to ensure that you're not being a target, and you're not letting somebody get where they could take that from you. And that is part of weapons retention, is having that heightened sense of awareness, not letting somebody get close to wherever the side you're carrying it. But there are also other tactics and strategies. A buddy of mine, Rich Nance, he's done some videos way back when with Paladin and some other groups on weapon retention. So you can find videos and books and instructors out there that will teach you and can help you with that if you're not familiar with some of those principles. If you carry on a regular basis, especially a law enforcement officer, security that's carrying a firearm, or even just a person, if you're carrying on a regular basis, weapon retention should be part of your overall training. But none of it negates the importance of being aware of your surroundings, what you're projecting, and who's getting close to you when you have that weapon. So include that in your training. Conceal carry, it's just way smarter. It's a better idea. It does not make you a target for somebody that's looking to score a weapon or just score something that he can sell really quickly for a good price. Jay says, great points. Thank you, Jay. That's a little bit for today. Get you to think about, especially if you carry a weapon. I hope that elderly gentleman is never a target. Fortunately, we live in a fairly safe community compared to other places in the country and in the world. But we have our crime here too. We have our drug dealers and different things, and drug addicts and homeless and transient and people that are committing violent crimes here in Missoula too. And you see somebody with a weapon, you want a weapon, or you want the money that weapon can provide, it can be an easy score. So I hope that gentleman never is a target, and I don't want you to ever be a target. So practice safe habits and prevent anybody from knowing what you have. They don't need to know what you have in your wallet. They don't need to know what you're carrying. Just like they always say, don't flash cash, don't flash jewelry, don't flash your weapons either. Go out, Make it a wonderfully wicked Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.